Hey, Dichen, my name's James Masella from MovieDeathblows. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with me today.
No, thank you for having me.
Anytime, anytime. So I got to ask, Vampires of the Velvet Lounge, it's very unique. It's its own thing. It's got a very unique tone and aesthetic to it. It really reminded me of like Sin City and John Carpenter's Vampires. But what drew you to this film and this character?
Often I like when I work, I like working with good people, and you never really know how something's going to turn out, right? It's just like you could think, oh, this is going to be amazing, and then it doesn't turn out as amazing. Or you could work on something that you're like, I don't know, and then it's amazing. So you never really know, but I love the people who were involved. And I also hadn't really seen the vampire dating app concept together. I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong and there is something out there like that, but I honestly had not seen those two worlds collide, and I thought it was really clever. Um, and obviously, such an amazing cast. Like, why not? I think that obviously there's lots of different kinds of movies, but I think it just seemed like fun. And I think that I personally think that making movies should be fun and you should have a good time doing it, and hopefully the audiences find it fun too.
Agreed. I also don't know about the vampire dating apps. I got to stay away from the undead and everything like that. But that's just me.
Yeah, definitely doing that on those.
I love gory movies like Evil Dead and stuff like that. Is there ever a time where you're turned off by the amount of blood that's in this movie? Because it's just flying around at some point. I love it, but I don't know what it's like for you guys getting covered in it and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sticky, I won't lie. And we were always on a night shoot. So we lived like vampires, sleeping during the day and up at night in Savannah, Georgia, which is like the perfect place, by the way, to shoot a vampire movie. It's just such a beautiful town, and you can cut the air with a knife sometimes because of that humidity and there's like sometimes this like sulfuric smell kind of just like hovers over the city, and it just adds so much texture. It's like it's an incredible, incredible place. Yeah.
We were talking about the cast before. You get to play alongside Rosa Salazar is one of my favorite people in the world. I think one of the first times we see her, she's like twerking against a wall and everything like that.
It's so weird. It's so weird and so funny. And she's so great and up for anything. I mean, all the women in this movie were just incredible. Like, worked so hard, great sense of humor, like really just leaned in. And she is hilarious. Like, she just cracks me up.
I did not know Tom Berenger was in this movie until I started watching it. You have a couple scenes with him on the computer, and then you see him at the end. What's it like working with someone who's been through like everything? Tom's almost 80 years old. He's one of my favorite actors in the world. What's it like working with him?
I mean, I don't know how I keep getting so lucky working with just extraordinary people. I honestly just have to kind of pinch myself because, like, I grew up in like Kathmandu, and like half the time we didn't have electricity, and many people at the time were living like they lived hundreds of years ago. And then I find myself in like working with these extraordinary people on these extraordinary sets under the weirdest circumstances. And I'm like, how did this get to be my life?
I don't know, but I'm happy to see you here and everything like that. So glad you got out of
Oh,
that stuff. We talked a little bit about like the vampire dating app, but like, how would you explain your character in the background of what they're going through in this movie to somebody who hasn't seen it yet? Because it's interesting to say the least.
I think that what's cool about this subject matter is that people are always, even humans like you and me, in
I
this
hope.
life, in this construct, they're always struggling with light and dark, and our shadow selves. It's not an easy path. It's not easy to be human. So I think, I hope that's what people get from it, other than having like a wild ride while they watch this. They're the deeper layers of it amongst all the crazy wackiness. So yeah, it's like that's what is was always curious to me about that space. And I think about it every day. We're always like trying to shut down the bad voices, you know, like the negative ones. I mean, it doesn't even have to be as dark as the vampire thing, but like I think as creative people and even people who aren't like in the creative space, like there's a conscious effort to positive self-talk, you know, and we're always struggling with that, the negative self-talk creeping in there, whatever it's about.
And that was one of my favorite parts, just hearing your character's internal monologue the whole time, where they go over their background and like what's going on and stuff like that. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah,
But yep,
nice. I'm glad you had fun, right?
I
Like
have a
it's
great time, especially with vampire movies. But like, I always say the thing that bogs them down is like the ending cliche on how to kill them. Like, I love when they have a unique turn on the story, and that's what this movie does. Like, Daybreakers is another one like that. In Underworld, it just takes a turn. Would you think? You think is one of the most unique vampire movies you've seen? I don't know how many you've seen. Just asking, what do you
oh my gosh.
think?
I thought actually a unique, like I thought Being Human, which was a show I was on like years ago, that's like a vampire werewolf and a ghost. I thought that there was something really original about them all living together. Um, and I think that I know saying TV shows and I should be talking about movies, but also What We Do in the Shadows, I thought was just a masterpiece. It was incredible.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. That show, what Taika does, and especially with the American version too. It's so funny. But
Yeah, it's incredible.
a few years ago, I got to chat with Jamie Harris, who you co-starred with in Marvel Agents of Shield. He played Gordon. I love that show. I think a lot of people have a much more love for it nowadays that they can watch it on streaming, like all in one sitting
Oh,
instead
right.
of
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
broken up with like TV breaks and everything like that. That's what really bogged it down. What was your experience like working with that show? Because I love it. I hype it up as much as possible.
Oh, I had the best time. I'm so grateful for my time on Agents of Shield. My husband was Agent Davis. I was pregnant at the time, so my daughter was kind of on the show as well. I mean, you couldn't have been working with a nicer bunch of people and also experienced like a better fan base. You know, like so much of my experience of the shows that I've done is the fan base around it. And the interaction I have with the fans who love the show. And I love Agents of Shield fans. Like they're just like the best people and the the way they explain like what the show meant to them or whatever, it's just beautiful.
Last question before we wrap up. We're talking about the fans and shows you're on. And I think you're on one of the most famous shows on streaming right now in Severance. When do you guys come back for season three? When are you going to be on set shooting that?
Um, Very soon, very soon. And I'm so excited to read the scripts. They are so detail oriented on this show, and I keep saying this, like I think really good things take time. And I mean, there's so much good stuff out there, but maybe you'll never watch it again. You know, I feel like we're really making something special here, and the desire to like deliver is so strong for the fans, you know, like this is it's all for the people watching, you know.
They
We
take
get the
this
fun part of playing with it, but yeah.
they take that show super seriously. They've got like hour long in depth breakdowns on every little aspect. I find it fascinating. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're a fan. Thank you for watching.
Anytime. But that's all I've got for you today, Deechin. I hope everybody goes to see Vampires of the Velvet Lounge when it comes out March 20th. Thank you for taking your time and sit down with me today for a
No,
couple minutes.
thank you so much. Thank you. See you soon.
Yep. Let's turn this off.
Thank you, James.